Well, hello everybody out there in fan land. I'm Marty O'Donnell. I'm the audio director and composer for Bungie Studios, and joining me today in these developer commentaries on this this evening is Joe Staten, the director of cinematics, and Jason Jones, the fearless leader of Bungie Studios. Welcome, guys. Let
Thanks,
the fans
Marty.
know what your voices sound like.
Hi, Marty.
Jason has a deep, rich, manly voice.
Yes.
Wow,
Go,
you know
here
what?
it is, opening scene. What do you think?
Well, since
Pillar
it's
of
been a
Autumn.
while since I've seen this, the really funny part about all this stuff with the Pillar of Autumn is in
funny.
all of these shots,
Is that Paul Russell built it in like 4 minutes?
other than that, is that the Pillar of Autumn never moves.
Right.
In this cinematic and other cinematics, it's just a piece of BSP geometry that the camera always moves around. So to simulate movement,
Oh my God, it's Captain Keys.
Look at
we had to
Kevin.
do some crazy stuff.
He's got at least 12 polygons.
As for tracking us all the way from
Now, just
Go ahead.
from a behind-the-scenes point of view, the really interesting thing about Halo 1 cinematics is that probably at least 60% of all the movement of the characters is either done through AI behaviors or through playbacks. And playbacks are just someone possessing the character and running him around the space and recording what he does, the player input, and then playing that back again. So keys moving around, that's just a playback animation with a bunch of custom animations fired off in script.
Right, like the pipe, which you had a lot of trouble with the pipe, and I remember you having a lot of trouble with handshaking and other things like that.
What was Keys doing just there?
He was packing his tobacco. What do you think he was doing?
His eyes closed suggestively.
You know what I love about these guys, though, the crewmen, is that
They all have Matt Seeger's face.
they all are Matt Seeger.
That's good.
Matt Seeger, who was the sound programmer on Halo 1, and my good friend.
Now is a scene, one of many scenes that we'll get to, where Jason and I wrestled about exactly how much stuff we could put, because you can see a couple little frame rate pitches in here when I'm spawning warthogs and putting in pelicans, and Jason was a stern master with the number of things I could throw in the scene, but then I always threw in a couple more.
I don't remember any of that. I don't remember ever being a stern master.
You know what I just realized about
Does this warthog still crash when it goes
Yes,
off frame?
it does. Okay, listen to it. It's going to crash as it goes off scene.
Wait.
Wait,
No, I think it's the one that comes after this one.
was it
Yeah.
Warthog?
And again, all these guys are just running, they're either running AI or playbacks to make these animations happen.
Hey, Jason, explain to me why human beings would make a Jeep that big. I mean, look how big that is compared to Sergeant Johnson.
Because it looks awesome.
He looks like a 4-year-old when he's trying to drive it.
And I think as Sergeant Johnson goes through these lines here, written by the unforgettable Matt Sell, I think this was the moment where, wait for the crash.
Damn right I am.
Here it goes.
Double time.
It's going to go behind.
Oh, looks like somebody fixed that bug, Marty O'Donnell.
You know what? We did do that.
But I
like
think this
somebody
was the
muted
moment
it.
we all realized that Sergeant Johnson
Here it is.
was going
Here
to
it is. No, it's
endure.
gonna, this one's going to crash. Listen for it.
No, they fixed it. They fixed it.
Fixed it. I shouldn't have fixed it. In the game, you hear it crash.
Sir?
Here's what I'm thinking about this whole director's commentary thing.
Yeah.
Whatever this is called, developer's commentary.
Designer commentary.
Designer
developer
commentary.
30 seconds.
It reminds me of the famous Jamie Griesmer quote about 30 seconds of fun.
Yeah.
I think if anybody who sits through the 2.5 hours, they'll probably have about 30 seconds of fun.
If we're lucky.
Okay. Jason?
I'll take it from here.
Yeah. You're on.
I'll carry us through the next 2 hours.
Look at that sync, Marty. That's good Foley sync. Remember how hard we had to work to make that happen?
Only in normal is it in sync. I think it's out of sync in every other version.
Wow, I guess we just skipped all the way to this cutscene.
Oh, here we go. He's going to shake hands. Let's look. Yeah. How hard did you work on that?
Tana did her best.
Let me just say that those animations were not authored together. They were authored separately. So getting them to actually shake involved slightly nudging their spawning points closer and closer until it actually worked.
And of course, the lovely Jen Taylor as Cortana, who we just couldn't live without. Captain Keyes, played by Pete Stacker, who's also Sergeant Stacker. He's a dual role. Steve Downs. Oh,
Ah, that looked like it hurt.
Steve Downes is Master Chief, but
All right.
crewman,
I'm initiating cold.
you know who that crewman was, right?
Did you see me just blow through like 6 Dutch angles there? That was awesome stuff.
While you do what? Go down with the ship?
In a matter.
Ah, where'd the pipe come from?
There you go.
That's the question of the day. But if you look, from this point on, I believe Keyes' mouth is permanently sort of turned down in the lower right corner from his pipe. And who kept shooting Cortana from the back? That's just not right.
That's why we have so many little boy fans.
Hey, do you remember the bug where, because she was transparent and that the display was transparent, and we went round? I think that was one of the last bugs we fixed on these cinematics, was getting her to sort properly.
Oh, really? No, I don't remember anything about Halo 1. Did I work on this game?
Capture her.
I
Learn
think-
everything. Force deployment, weapons research.
Earth.
Oh, sorry.
The Autumn will
Oh. That's
He
good
delivered
stuff.
that so well, though. Come on.
not that you'll miss
Captain
it.
Kizo also said the best line in Oni. Joe.
Dead. Keep moving. Well, the great thing about sort of Bungie games is that we have this really cool stable of actors, right, that stick
Yes.
around from game to game.
All 2 of them?
All two of them now. You got to get rid of the guy that plays the grunt, though. He's a hack. Well, I mean, in Halo, we really didn't have that many more characters than, you had Keyes, Cortana, and the Chief, and Spark. But the cast was so much. I mean, even Sergeant Johnson wasn't called Sergeant Johnson. He was just called Sniper Sergeant. But yeah, I mean, I think that alone just made everything a little bit more simple. And you know what, honestly, we just weren't too worried in Halo 1 about tying up loose ends.
Oh, yeah, the chapter titles were some of them were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up and get behind me,
Sir.
sir.
I think we'll see that one in a little bit.
Oh gosh, we're all the way through the Pillar of Autumn already.
We're skipping all the good
Now
parts.
would be a very good time to leave.
Great animation by Mr. Steve Abeda,
Yeah.
or maybe Steven Okazaki, I can't remember which. But this is one of the few scenes where we actually had a ton of custom animation because, you know, I couldn't walk the Master Chief around in a life pod or do AI. So yeah, the Pillar of Autumn is not moving at all. Everything else is moving.
Oh, and here's the famous. So I don't know how many people know this.
Yeah. Oh wait, this is the bug that will always make my eyes bleed. If you look in the lower left-hand corner, I think you can see the edge of the mat in this next shot where Halo's coming up, and you can see a little bit of.
I knew it. The Autumn's accelerating. Keys is
Wait
going
for it.
in
Okay,
manual.
Pillar of Autumn not moving.
Yes, gotcha. Well, it looks like it's moving.
Clever
does,
camera
doesn't it?
work, Jay. Oh, wow.
And actually, Brian Morden, the guy who visited us from the Make-A-Wish program, did that line, the autumn she's been hit.
Take a seat.
Yeah. Up, there was the edge of the mat.
Really?
Yeah.
I still missed it.
Still had fingers that
Now, am I
we
remembering
crossed.
correctly that this was your favorite cinematic from Halo 1? I think it was it?
That was brilliant. I'm crying right now.
Jason is crying, I can attest. By the way, who's the voice of the dropship pilot at this moment?
Is it Jay's wife?
No.
Coming in too fast.
Who is it?
Damn, airbrake failure. They blew too early.
I forget, who is that?
That's Jen Taylor.
Is that Jen Taylor?
That's, we put a Cortana line and a Jen Taylor line right next to each other, and you didn't even know.
Interesting.
Brilliant. She's a brilliant actress.
Now that little snippet there of the inside the life pod thing,
Chief,
again,
can
that was
you
a
hear me?
playback recording, which is me sort of standing in the life pod as it's actually going
Can you
in,
move?
recording both the movement of the pod and the camera. And that gets used a bunch of different times in Halo 1 cinematics, because Halo 1 cinematics were filthy, cheat-filled, duct tape and baling wire cinematics.
Awesomeness.
Right on top of them.
Bowhammer, we need you to disengage.
That's
your
Bernie's
warthog.
Bloom, right?
The Master Chief and I are going to see if we can save
Bernie, little raise a Buddha action.
Raise a
Roger,
Buddha.
Cortana.
Halo 1 was awesome.
It is.
What
happened?
These long gameplay sections, you got to start saying
Chief and I
something.
need some backup. Can you spare a few minutes?
Next time he shoots a grunt, I'll start talking.
You know, clearly Marty was filming the gameplay sequences
Oh,
because
see, I
they
knew that
are
was gonna come up.
they are plodding, but very, very helpful.
They're helpful. I didn't want it to look like someone actually playing the game, but someone sort of filming the game.
So I can't help but notice there are a lot of waypoints, Jones. What's up with all the waypoints in Halo 1?
I had nothing to do with them. I deny everything.
Now,
Oh,
cue. AI.
That's
Combat
my favorite piece of
dialogue.
AI.
Unbelievable. Now here's my favorite line in the game.
I don't know if they show it.
Yeah, don't we show it? Here it comes.
This cave is not
Oh.
a natural formation.
Not? It's not a natural formation?
I don't believe it.
Yeah, no duh.
Hey, you
Wait a
remember
minute,
how
it looked
mad
like
you-
a natural cave to me.
You remember how mad you were at me before the GameStop demo that we made where the Master Chief was flying around Silent Cartographer? And we had the basics of the AI combat dialogue system in, and one of the few things the Marines did was raise their arm and say, woohoo, when they went over rocks.
Uh-huh.
And I went back in the studio and re-recorded them because they didn't sound like woohoo enough. And the Marines sounded really woohoo, and you started playing the game. Man, you were mad as a hootie owl when you heard those new Marine dialogue.
Wow, I
Come on.
seriously don't remember anything.
Did you hit Jason over the head, Marty?
Yeah.
He seems to have
This has been in India.
selective memory loss.
He's so mellow now.
So mellow.
Well, Marty,
so
talk a little bit about that little moment that we just saw.
Oh, that was one of those moments.
Famous light
That we
bridge.
just went.
There's our ride.
It wasn't
Get aboard
actually a
and let's get out.
cinematic. It was a. What did we call those?
We didn't have a name for them.
That's right. Now they're going to be called.
Vignettes or perspectives.
yeah.
But
You and I talked about making sure we had little moments in the game where
Right.
music would come in, camera control would be taken away for 10 seconds.
right. But those really didn't come in until the very end of
Yes.
the end of the project. But they were really easy to do, and I think were some of the more interesting moments of the game.
The enemy has
Nice,
captured Captain
silent,
Keith and are holding him
musical
before one of their
moments.
cruisers.
Yes.
Descriptive.
Reconciliation.
And gave you a sense of where you were.
Position approximately 300
Good
meters
context
from
with
the
not a lot of
Because
overhead.
the rest of the time, you're just inside your own head.
That's right.
And this, you could see yourself in your environment.
Right. Jones, you got to step it up. I'm dying over here. I think this is my favorite level from Halo 1.
Once we get
Malvern
inside
Tone,
Too.
scripted,
Mike.
truth and reconciliation.
It's the sniper rifle.
Well,
You love the sniper.
that's true.
Marines, go, go, go! The Corps ain't paying us by the hour.
What? There's an original line.
You should be able to recon the Covenant position without being
Some
spotted.
good
we're-
dialogue, Joe. Though, really.
Well, you know, I mean, this is really, I mean, you think John Howard wrote some of this stuff, and I think Matt Sell wrote some of it, and you wrote some of it.
Get ready to move into
I don't
support
remember.
us, Sergeant. The Master Chief is going to
You wrote all the stuff that was cool, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Don't open fire
I do.
until you hear the enemy
Oh, he's going to
taking
shoot a
fire
grunt.
on us. That
I'm
should
going to have
let
to
us
start
be
talking
done
now.
with surprise.
Marines, prepare for boarding action.
Oh man, look at that. We skipped all the way up to here.
Once we're inside the ship, I can home in on the captain's command neural interface.
All the dreamy
Probably
gameplay
in
skipped
or
right
near the
over.
ship's brig,
Which was a very good fight.
We were so proud of these little lens flares, these little volumetric flashlights. I think Bernie and I spent like 6 hours one night just running around watching the Marines.
With their lights on.
Yeah, from like midnight to 6 in the morning.
But there were girls around, right?
No.
It's one of those things, there are never girls around. So how big a team worked on Halo 1?
We're in.
Who remembers?
Good luck on the captain's
Well, I think it was about 40 people, right? Without,
No Covenant defense.
I mean, all the burly men of Test, and
Yeah, don't count Test. Only because,
don't let Harold hear this.
no. I'm just in terms of working on the game and not testing, because
Right.
we got all sorts of extra people in the test too.
Invisible Sword Elite!
Oh,
How
obviously,
many sword elites came out on legendary difficulty? Does anybody remember?
No, I don't.
Paul Bertone, who's not here to answer for his crimes.
Legendary was the worst on Legendary.
Oh wait,
That was
this?
awesome.
All right, what level did we cut that necessitated this cinematic?
Oh,
Do you
I
remember?
don't remember.
Coming here was reckless. You two
But there's some choice dialogue
This is
that's
some
about
great
to
dialogue.
happen. Where
Talk
Captain
about
Keyes-
exposition.
Yeah, well, you know, he is Captain Exposition. That was our nickname.
Yeah, no, tell me about the level we cut.
I can't remember.
I
which
seriously
level
don't
we cut.
remember. But I mean, it's all familiar, but
We cut the
yeah.
level where we,
God.
in a more elegant way, described this.
right.
Here it comes.
talking about.
Oh,
What do they call it?
They call it Halo.
Well, of course they do.
Accessing the Covenant battle net.
Chief takes it in stride. Come on.
Yeah.
Chief knows exposition when he hears it.
Deep religious significance.
Remember those guys down at E3 that thought Chief was a girl because there's always a girl's voice coming out of him?
Well, in every movie or game, I mean, there's always that scene, right, where you know you've got to expose the critical details. Usually you try to dramatize it nicely, but there's some drama there. Keyes has got some some pipe business.
Hey, explain
Cameras moving around.
Explain the lighting in this level, because this is cinematic lighting par excellence.
Well, I mean, really, I think all of this lighting, I really don't remember how much lighting, cinematic lighting we had turned on for Halo 1.
You had any?
I think it's all just the way it was. I don't think you had any choices.
Yeah.
You just had to eat it. This was like...
Oh, I remember that now. It was fun.
I have a new mission for you.
The moment when all the Marines get Covenant guns and you leave the ship that you just invaded with the captain in tow, like, I don't know, I was always really excited about
There
that
it is.
emotionally.
Shut up and get behind me, sir. Yeah.
Now, given Key's a needler, you want to describe that bug?
Yeah, come on, Jason. Whose idea was that?
That was Paul's idea.
Oh, okay.
But if I remember correctly, the bug was that Keyes still had AI behavior, right? Which was taunt enemy corpse with his weapon. And so Keyes, with the needler, would, of course, unload into the dead elite or what have you,
And then explode and kill himself.
and explode and kill himself.
That was pretty classic when Keyes ran up to a guy and filled him with needles and then blew everybody
wait.
up.
Get on board.
Explain this part.
Oh, it's perfectly obvious what happens.
What's
You were-
happening here? Weren't there hunters or something?
Yep.
And where's the shot that shows us killing the hunters?
Ship's controls.
I think this was one of those cinematics in Halo 1 where we kind of ran out of time. If you notice, there aren't
Here's
any
the hunters.
characters, really, except for the two
Okay.
hunters.
Hang on.
He's gonna
He's
kill him.
controls, and boom.
Oh,
Keyes is a badass.
so we're
Now,
just supposed to like...
I had to take the hunters out because the collision with that cinematic model of the dropship,
Yeah.
that they sort of interpenetrated, and it
Yes.
didn't look too.
Our first level.
B-30. That was our code name.
We spent so much time rebuilding and rebuilding and rebuilding
Covenant
B-30.
believe that what they call the silent cartographer is somewhere
Turned out pretty
under
well.
this island. The cartographer is a map room that can lead us.
I remember you were swaying that dropship because you're just trying to make it look cool.
The island has multiple structures and installations.
Little Steve Beta right there, animation. Marcus looking good, the Marcus Marine.
I totally guilted Steve into doing that. Because that guy was just standing in his seat facing forward.
Yep.
Woo. This is one of my favorite encounters, though. And we have the full Halo music playing in this encounter for the first time. Oh, and then we're done. Wow.
Now,
The hollow panel to shut down the
what,
security system.
Jones, was the original objective for this mission? Do you remember?
It's sort of becoming the theme of the evening, but
Good.
I don't remember, Judge.
Should open the door that
It
leads
was
into the main
to
shaft.
kill the Prophet, who was trying to find this silent cartographer. Remember, you were supposed to, the Prophet was going to go, he was getting the map, and you were supposed to go and assassinate the Prophet, which, like most good ideas that we don't execute on the first time around, we save for the next game.
Are you saying
Awesome.
that we haven't thought through every story point for every game all the way from beginning to end?
I could be saying that, but really what I'm saying is we usually fail to execute on brilliant
Oh, wait.
ideas the first time around and then knock them out of the park next time.
Here's one of my favorite. We did this because we did this in the XO2 demo. Here it is.
Little
Just to
playback
show
animation,
you.
little AI walk.
And
Cue the
it-
custom animation.
Why is there a stone here?
He's got a big backpack.
What? Why is there a stone there?
Well,
What
there's
kind of
not a
question
stone
is
there
that?
anymore.
I think the chief just took care of that problem.
Yes. That's a great perspective.
I think the chief's motivation was to walk to the end of the diving board and kick off the one and only stone in all of the
Halo
400
1.
interiors in Halo 1. He didn't like it.
There. That hollow panel should activate
Some
the
good
map.
Shi Kai hologram
Ladies
action.
and gentlemen, Shi Kai Wang.
Yep.
Beauteous.
Analyzing.
So talk about the mirrored floors.
Halo's control center is located there.
I don't remember anything about the mirrored floors. I think back then mirrors were all the rage.
Did we have any mirrors in Halo 2?
A shrine
And I guess we're talking about
There
Halo
was
1.
one on the floor of the control room. But we'll get to that in about 2 hours.
After the 30 seconds of fun are done.
Yeah, B-30, I have a lot of fond memories of B-30. It's like a childhood home. Backyard.
So you could go two different ways around the island.
Well, I mean, it was the Halo 1. It was the Halo 1 test bed, right? I mean,
That's where everything started.
Now this cinematic, again, we cut a level, and I don't remember what level we cut.
That's horrible.
The coordinates are underground.
And I had to, well, we had to cobble this
No, because this is B30 and the next level is B40, right?
That's true.
So I don't think there was anything
We
cut.
always had planned that we were going to open up the magic hidey hole.
I'm not saying it was a good plan.
Wait,
think
here's Shi Kai covering our asses again with
Yeah.
the absolutely fake manhole.
Oh yeah, that's.
Pelican actually fit in that manhole?
Oh, weird. The Pelican's like 14 miles long. It can carry 70,000 people. Yeah, that's why we didn't actually show the
Okay, wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Staten,
grunt comedy.
Grunt Comedy.
Oh, I would have been your daddy, Marty.
I forgot about that. That was Pete Stacker's line.
Fine Pete Stacker line.
He improvised that line. Here we go. Let's listen.
Yeah.
Little sniffing.
Oh, Academy Award time right there.
Grunt comedy always gets old.
I forgot how we painted ourselves into a corner where we, needed to do a dropship insertion from like inside a structure, and so we ended up flying down through the manhole on B30.
Well, in Halo 1, we really didn't have a lot of, big sort of matte painting helped transitions from one space to another. I mean, we had like this tropical island, and then we went to snow, right? And I think I remember one of your concerns was that it was just going to be hard to pull off that transition from one place to the next. So you decided it was easier just to put the Pelican through a tube.
I decided it was easier to make you suffer. Is that?
This is it. Halo's control center.
The control center. We just talked right over me singing.
Was that you?
shocked. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
There's
Damn.
Man,
It's a
that
big
is
room.
a big room. Look at that thing. I love it. Master Chief always looks like he's walking with a slight little gimp. What's up with that?
You know, and you can see in this scene, because this is a lot of playback animation where it's just, me running around recording his stuff. And I mean, you probably have the more technical explanation for this, but it was keeping track of my input, right? And so if I had bad, and I was doing this all in the tool on the PC. So if I had bad lag on my mouse, it made the Chief's movements
jittery.
Yeah.
right? So you can see him.
You can't imagine the wealth of information.
Ah, yes, giant Cortana.
Giant
Wow.
Cortana.
There was an alternate very early of the version of the story where when he rediscovered Cortana, she'd like gone berserk with power and wanted to take over Halo in the universe.
What happened to that story?
This ring isn't
It was too good.
something else.
We had to use this one instead.
Are you to say you came up with a story where a woman
This ring.
became drunk
wait,
with
listen.
power and wanted to take over the universe?
Let's not go
I
there.
don't believe that
Go
for a
there.
second.
Sensitive.
Oh, we'll get to Miranda strapping a bomb to the Chief's back when we get to Halo 2.
That would have been awesome.
Fools, they must have known. There must
I
have
was
been
for it,
signs.
Jason.
If only the world of video game
Covenant found something. Buried
fans
in
knew
the
what they were
forest.
missing,
Now, they're-
knew what had been taken from them.
The captain, we've
Who
got
is the
to
jerk
stop
who
him.
told you that?
Scary. Jeez.
The weapons cache he's looking
Her
for.
eyes.
It's not really, we can't let him get inside.
Now, why did? Well,
This was cool.
There's no time. Get out of here. Find keys.
I,
and stop him.
and I love the Chief's
Yeah.
animation there. And he like starts running away before he even knows what he's doing.
I'm going. I'm doing it.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going. The glowy lady said to go.
Now, this, I think, is the cinematic that almost killed me and you two guys too, because it is pretty much start to finish. Not this one, but the one that comes after.
Yes. We can go very quickly. I hope.
Right, except for some really cool custom animation about toward the end. All playback animation, AI stuff, back to back, taking one character as the lead actor, running him through his moves,
Oh yeah.
then selecting the next guy, running him through, recording his stuff, and just building up this collection of different recordings for all these characters.
But do you remember how careful we were to not let anybody know that? I mean, this was the big twist that
Yeah.
the flood was being introduced, and
Right?
this was the big moment that we had to like fake everybody out into thinking they were doing something else, but we were actually introducing the flood. Oh, I love this little. We're under attack. Oh, something.
Yeah, this
Looked
mission was
good.
good. This was the cutscene I was looking forward to the most, I think, to seeing done in its final place in the whole game. Not this one, the one that we're about
Yeah.
to see.
And luckily, we had a little extra time after that cutscene, which somebody, Jamie Griesmer, wanted to take away and go right into action. I'm like, Jamie, you gotta have a little time to let the players adjust to they're in the same place.
Oh, crazy
Oh,
Marine.
crazy Marine. Ken
Now, the
Boynton.
original
Ken
plan-
Boynton.
The original plan for Crazy Marine was he was actually going to, when you remember, Marty, we had a
Yes.
fight, not a fight about this. We don't ever
No.
fight, but
Never fight.
the Crazy Marine was supposed to stay alive, and then when you walked however many world units away from him, and we checked, to see that you weren't looking, we were just going to have this big bang,
He would
right?
kill himself.
And you would come back and you'd be dead on the floor.
No, I was fine with that. The thing I didn't ever want you to see him kill himself. But I also didn't want all of his lines to be said all in a row.
Exactly.
They
I
were
know.
supposed to be said at different times, but instead, Jamie said, boring. Just have them all said at the same time.
Right.
Not that we're
Yeah, we're
gonna
kind of
speak
belaboring
bad
that here.
about Jay.
Well, Marty is focusing on Crazy Marine.
Well, I
He's
guess
got the
we're-
bottomless clip.
But
Those little
somebody,
light sticks, those were some of the few cool, I remember, who made the big pass on this level at the very end? Was that Jamie? They just went through and splashed.
jeez.
Marty!
Jamie
Sorry?
went in and just
I didn't know I
splashed a whole
did
bunch
that.
of blood decals and a whole bunch of crazy, made
Yeah.
these little
Yeah,
covenant
yeah.
barricades
Yeah,
and
cool.
really
Cool.
did some awesome stuff.
Coming down the elevator and seeing the blood all over the walls.
Right.
Notice how the music takes you down this hallway. Of course, I'm going as slow as I possibly
Yeah,
can.
notice how Marty's exactly running everywhere perfectly to maximize the effect of the music.
I'm looking in. What is that?
You know what, Marty? This music takes me other places too. It takes me to some real special happy places deep inside my heart.
Good. And then we go down this. You see, I'm being real cautious. This
Because
is the
every
way
player
players would
walks
be.
this slowly.
They should, in this level, they should be kind of freaked out. That's what I was saying. Look at the blood, the thing. It's
No, there was some
scary.
good- there was-
I'm looking left. Wait, what's to the right? A trigger volume?
Yeah, the idea that knowing something horrible happened and going into the very room where it happened,
Yes.
but not knowing that's where it happened until you listen to the
Yes.
video.
See, that's what's cool about this.
Yeah.
But somebody needs to explain to me
Yeah.
why does the Master Chief put this little video playback chip in his head and it makes these fast forward noises like some old VCR tape?
I'm not quite sure, but why does every time that someone talks on the radio in Halo, does it make that?
They just haven't improved radio communications 500 years in the future.
I think it's the
They've
same.
already been improved, actually, in the present. Yeah, this was,
That's because real weapons 500 years from the future are going to be totally boring. As Rob McLeese likes to say,
Yes.
a weapon 500 years in the future is going to be a glass of water. And you drink it and all your enemies die. And I think we probably got to that point like 300 years in the future, and then we decided to go back to fun guns.
fun guns. Private Jenkins.
Remember, I wanted you to license an actual song for
Yes.
this? What were we going to license? Magic Carpet,
Paint It
right?
Black.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Rolling Stones.
Fighting to protect.
Instead, this is an O'Donnell Salvatore original rock and roll something.
Fine by me.
Oh, Mendoza was cool. I liked him.
Nice next time.
With Lorraine McLeese.
Oh yeah, she was the dropship pilot.
Now,
He looks clear.
I'm bringing us down.
Excellent, Lorraine.
And again, this is the only time I shot out the back. Well, when I wasn't shooting out the back of the Pelican, it's because the Pelican, because it was all a playback, was just vibrating like a in the trees. And they kept like cutting through the bay and stabbing people in the head. Oh, it was horrible. And then I think Chris
Video
Barrett put that bush there right at the very end, or not to blame Chris if he didn't do it, but like the magic bush that was never there before when I made all the playbacks.
No, let's blame Chris. That's more fun.
Yes. So what is this video
Jamie
effect?
probably helped him. They did it together.
Now, pretty much every time I'm not pointing the camera at the action, it's to avoid an animation pop, spawning a character, something that was bad.
Play.
And I think I must have tried to record this because I ran all the guys through and then tried to record a camera. And like once you do all this camera stuff is being recorded in real time.
Scramble the inside.
So it's just going through and trying to
I
make
like how
it
that
work.
elite is made of concrete when he kicks him.
Wait, was he?
Yeah,
move it all.
he doesn't move it all.
See, look, I'm looking away because Keys is about to pop off screen. Boop! Oh, hey, Keys. And this is all playback stuff. Like, this is me, mouse and keyboard in our
Controlling
tool.
every single
controlling
character.
every single character, yeah.
Those were the good old days.
I don't remember them as good, precisely.
They were old, though.
They were old.
They were old.
Right, well, let's get this door open.
But
See,
just
but
a
good
really
voice acting covers everything.
Like, watch. He's going to pop before he does his custom animation, so look away. Pop.
Yes, sir.
Here he goes.
Look back.
Hey!
And that's what the chief saw.
That's right. That's the same thing.
And now we're going into the room where the chief was last seen.
Marty, I noticed there's no music here. What was that choice about?
Oh, it's all ambience. If you guys
Ran out
are
of
listening
what?
closely, there's really cool, spooky ambience here. You don't want to hear it? It's just spooky.
Yeah.
This is actually the name of the piece is
Now wait.
Spooky 1.
You hear the gun noise? Every time you spawned a character in Halo 1, it made the reload sound.
Oh, and Halo 2, and Halo 3, by the
Jason.
way. Jason. Oh, wait.
Private Carney!
Chris Carney, ladies and gentlemen.
Look how casual Keys looks.
Now, the guy's obviously dying.
Do you copy? Over.
Mendoza?
Get your ass back up.
Do we know how much Scully was going to kick ass before we cast him?
No. No, yeah, actually.
I don't have time for
No.
your lip, soldier.
When he came in, he was great. David Scully, Sergeant Johnson.
How many times does
Stole the
Sergeant Johnson
show.
die in this game?
Coming from Mendoza.
Look at poor Keys doing his playback animation with his neck. Ah, yes, here they come, busting out.
First time ever, the party hats.
They're not so much busting as getting stuck on the door. Wait, here comes one. Those things are big.
Yeah, they are big.
It's like they're getting mobbed by turkeys.
Fire your weapon.
Hey,
There are too many, sir. Don't even think about it.
boy, that was some bleepable
Now, there's
language
this
from
great
Sergeant.
bug. I don't know if this is the one, but where an infection form would invariably just affix itself to Keys' crotch and
Yes,
just start
I know.
munching away. This is all just AI, like spawn
I know,
bunch of
I know.
infection forms and let it happen, right?
Well, no, that's why I had to capture that movie a couple of times, I swear.
Because of the crotch
the random
diving of
crotch
the
grab.
infection form.
Well, now the chief, he's worried.
Now,
he
this
knows.
is where
It's all right here.
what Jamie wanted to do here is immediately have, boom, the flood attack. And I said, please, just give me a little time to say, all right,
You
this is a
saved,
creepy
you
place.
saved Halo 1
I did,
right here.
right here. Jamie would have been out of control. And then, here come the party hats.
Wow, that looks cool.
Man, that is so cool.
Ah, yeah, Marty, way to build anticipation.
The only time we could get more than like 4 enemies on the screen at once in Halo 1 is if they were infection forms. Oh wow, look at the field of view on that shotgun.
Now, the name of that level was,
Monitor of installation 0.
wait a minute,
I am 343.
what
Now-
was the name of that level? Because that was 343 Guilty Spark there. That was a chapter
That
title.
was a chapter title, I think.
What was the name of the,
Function is to prevent it
what was the name of the level?
I'm trying to listen to the light bulb.
Poor Spark. He didn't have any custom animation or playbacks in that scene, but he could look to points. You saw right there where I could script him to look down or look up or look right or left.
For Faux Hammer.
It's just funny to watch him here, and he's still got that great little, character piece of
Yes.
his eye moves in time with his flickers in time with his speech. But if you look at the stuff in Halo 3 now and the great work that's getting done, I mean, he's just so much more animated and cool. But
Yeah.
thank God we had the light flickering
Yeah.
and the cool voice acting of Tim Dodabo.
Listen to the sound effects.
Is this a level from Mario? You get to see what you're going at.
Exactly right.
Now the question is, who opens this door? I.
The cameraman.
Who opened that door? You know who I think it was?
Just
The Grave Mind.
Yes. I think you're right. Oh. The humming monitor. Tim Dodabo.
I
ladies
hope
and
you
gentlemen.
captured some stuff of you shooting the monitor.
Oh, yes. I'm sure I do. I bet you I do right now. Come on. Yes.
Please control your temper.
Marty, you're
See?
not zooming when you're shooting the pistol.
Much more important business
Well,
here.
because zooming a pistol never made any sense to me.
Look how fast that pistol was firing. What were you thinking?
It's cool. I remember liking this level a lot.
I like the library.
I want to play it right now.
Absolutely.
Good work, Tyson.
That was good stuff.
Tyson has gotten a bad rap for this level. I love this level. I seriously do.
Wow, look at the textures. They're like 4x4 pixels.
Oh, geez, we're done already. Sorry, guys. We just zipped through it.
Well, you know, you got to be efficient.
Yes.
Well, here's Spark doing a little some playback stuff. There's a little bit more animated. Now you, again, I remember you did Jason disliking pretty much every time that I put rumble in the controller in a cinematic.
Yes.
And I think I put some right there, a little rumble.
I probably just didn't notice it.
Now how's the Chief standing where he's standing?
It's a mirrored, it's a glass surface, right?
I don't know. That's so interesting. What bug number was that? I forget.
Bug number won't fix.
Bug number, ship it. Look at that jerk. Incident 1 of the magic disappearing index in Halo 1.
Because what is the index made out of? No
It's
one really
made out
knows.
of.
It's the same as the Cortana chip that just disappears into slots.
The flood is spreading. We must hurry.
I mean, just looking back, I'd forgotten how much of the Halo 1 cinematics really was just camera movement. I mean, it just was things which stood still or moved in simple ways.
Neither of these characters even have lip sync. Right.
Yeah, that's true. Made it a little easier.
Genius.
I just nod my head.
Yeah, it's a little bit laggy because of the input. It's funny. I mean, all that looking, all the walking around
He's
is
got a
playback.
gimp right now.
It's some kind of. Yeah,
He's been through a lot. He's hurt.
Code.
Unfortunately, my useful
Also known as whack.
endeavor has come to an
Look at Spark fly to his points. Man, that is an actor that can hit his marks.
former task as important as the reunification of the index.
And cut on the poppy animation.
That final step is reserved for you, Reclaimer.
Now, it was funny because I don't remember exactly why this was true. Probably because in Halo 1,
We have no idea how he took the index from Spark. That's always off
Happens
camera.
off
I love
camera.
that.
happens off camera.
Genius.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh,
Brilliant.
Sparks.
Oh, really?
Here she
I love
comes.
this scene.
Boom! Now, when you don't have time to make an effect, you just make the screen go kind of green.
Watching you toady about.
Toady?
That thing gets
Well,
set to slit
do you
Toady?
remember why she says things like toady?
No.
Because originally you wanted Cortana to have a British accent, Jason.
What?
Yes, you did.
I don't remember any of this. You guys could
Absolutely
say
did.
anything.
made you do.
All those words.
You know what?
were-
That's actually true because when we cast Cortana, we asked every woman to do an English accent for us at the same time.
Mid-Atlantic, maybe kind of.
Don't try to blame this on me.
We did, and then
I'm
we decided
blaming
not to.
it. I absolutely am.
Sod off.
Sod off, toady. What
Sod
is
off,
that?
Cody. And I think this was one of those cinematics where we'd already. Gee, Marty, this was one of those cinematics where we already had a bunch of dialogue recorded.
Yeah.
And I made the point that maybe a sort of American-sounding AI shouldn't be saying things like that. And I think your response was, Jim,
Won't
beep
fix.
this, go yourself. We're not re-recording that dialogue. Marty wouldn't say something like that. That's my interpretation.
I re-record everything you want, Joe.
You said, I'm very busy. I think we should ship what we have. But thank you for your suggestion.
Humans, covenant, whatever.
Whatever.
We're all equally edible.
Mm.
The only way to stop the flood is to starve them to death.
Now, does that make a lot of sense? Should someone explain that to me? I've never quite gotten that. All sentient beings, so we starve them to death? What's
I love how
exactly?
in every Halo game, we always have to have the scene where someone explains how the flood works and what the Halo rings do to them.
Has a maximum effective radius.
I mean, Jason, when
This
did
was
you
written,
come up
this
with
was
that?
written all by Jones.
But,
That is so much.
No, the spark more technical.
To sustain the flood.
The chief's just staring at him.
he's trying to decide who to believe. That's what he's making up his mind now.
Behind the mask, he's going through a variety of
Yes.
emotions.
Do I stay with my little glowing friend or my AI girl? What do I do?
To do what you've already done.
Yeah, there are only so many different ways you can move a camera around a non-moving
See, look, he's like,
object.
okay, do I do this? Do I do this?
Oh, here they come.
Time to ponder your query.
Wait a minute. He's got an AR in his hand.
We must activate the ring.
I hope.
Us.
I hope the chief has a really punchy, awesome line to finish this scene. I guess we gave it to Spark, didn't we?
Still, I must
Here it is. Yes.
give your construct to me, or I will be.
Wow, those sentinels just aren't moving, are they?
They're threatening.
That's not gonna happen. Of course
Here it
it's
comes.
not.
Here it comes.
Dispose of the rest.
Oh, take his head, dispose of the rest. I love that.
Dispose.
Look out.
But
I,
now he's got a plasma pistol. Somebody explain that to me. I swear he had an AR.
Explain to me how you missed that first Sentinel.
That was Joe. I remember he
Hey, nice decaling. Now this was one. Oh no, what level did we cut here?
This is ridiculous. Yeah, we're like trying to, how do you disable the power cores? How do we do that? There's got to be explosives. There's got to be an explosion.
You just walk into
How could it
a-
possibly happen? Wait, why don't we just walk into a big glowy light?
No, that'll take
If we walk into the lens flare.
Here comes the best exposition of the game.
that runs throughout Halo.
Of course there is.
That's how the monitor moves about so quickly.
That's how the monitor was about. Okay, yeah.
Listen to how fast Jen is talking.
Yeah, because you wrote this like in the last second before she showed up.
Sequential expenditure of energy.
What?
Jen's saying, "What the hell are you people making me
I'm
read?"
pretty sure I can pull it from your suit without permanently damaging your shield.
Pull it from your
I
suit?
think we should only try this once.
Only once.
Well-
Why is that, Joe? So how are you going to like distract people from saying, why haven't you been using this method of
Let
transportation
me just
this
say
whole
the
time?
worst cinematic in the game, which is what we just saw, is actually bookended by the best cinematic in the game.
With the fly through here?
No, don't you remember?
Oh gosh.
Well,
No, I don't remember.
it was the signature comedy moment of Halo 1 that I think eventually you came around to thinking was actually pretty good, but I mean, you know my impulse is always to put in a little comedy.
To escape from Halo. They've sent in a strike
This
team to
Oh,
this
well,
I remember
this,
you thinking
yes.
was a bit too much.
I've got a good lock on Captain Key's CNI.
So is this Captain, is this Master Chief and Cortana flying through the level, or is this how they're getting around? What are we looking at here, Joe?
Gratuitous flashy lights.
And then,
Yep.
oh,
here
we
go.
are.
This is brilliant.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
oh.
Oh, I see. The
Nice
coordinate
spark.
data needs to be... Right.
Oh.
Sorry.
He hit
It's a nice
Cortana.
little moment.
It's a great
Genius.
It's a
moment.
nice little moment.
And that will distract us from thinking about why we're using this transportation grid for one time only.
Yeah, I'm thinking in the cinematic that came before that one, the chief just should have started hitting his head a lot to distract people from that dialogue.
Oh, I love the blob blurpy
Good.
drops that come down here.
Analyzing damage.
Yes.
This
Yes,
hole was
you've
caused
gotta
by some
jump.
kind of explosive.
But you could stay
Fine.
here for quite some time.
Wait, Tyson, why don't you start an infinite flood respawner right behind the team?
We should continue our search.
You know, Tyson told me it wasn't infinite. Is that true?
I don't think it was infinite so much as it became more and more demonic as time went
Yeah.
by.
Certainly not the 30 seconds of fun we all talk about.
I think Tyson just started spawning Flood that didn't have weapons like carrier
Oh
forms.
my gosh, the most brilliant thing in Halo 1 was the fact that the carrier forms didn't explode from a grenade until they landed.
That's cool. So,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, I waited for her to give the line that jump in the fluid is looking better all the
Here comes
time.
one of the few matte paintings in our game.
Whoops.
Wherever it is, I guess we missed it.
Interactive music right there.
Nice splash. Hey, look, you're underwater.
I love it. No, you're under fluid.
That was the Halo 1 marathon moment right there.
Yes. Well. Oh.
Back we go. This grav lift wasn't quite as much fun as the Truth and Reconciliation grav lift.
Now, I'd like to say that I was the guy who said we need to have Captain Keyes say, "Chief, leave me," because I said we need to have a reason why you're looking for Captain Keyes and you believe that he might be on there. Just want you guys to know that.
I think, Marty, that was a really good suggestion.
That was
I'm
the
glad you
second
made it.
time you saved Halo 1.
Twice.
This is where you really started to feel sorry for the Covenant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit for Keyes, too.
Why'd you feel sorry for the Covenant here?
Well, because they're, Did you play this level?
Now, I think it's true that in Halo 1, since all the camera points were placed by hand in the tool,
Yeah.
that we didn't have an ability in Halo 1 to actually just make them start at a set speed and continue at that set speed and stop. They all had a curve, sort of an acceleration curve, where they would start slow and speed up and then slow down again. So if you look, all the camera moves have this weird sort of very even, I mean, not even, but they all sort of swoop in and swoop out.
Right.
Which I'm not saying is good, but it's just a little detail you notice.
Let's go back to the
Rob
shuttle bay
McLee's
and
with
find
that
a route.
excellent Flood Keys brain goo particle effect when you shake that thing.
If you listen closely right there, he's still going, even though he
He's-
smashed his head in, yeah.
From his shattered head.
Oh.
Not a lot of cover in this room.
There we go. Some action, baby.
I think it's safe to say that was the easiest cinematic to make in
Yep.
Halo 1.
Now, Joe, what do you think about this next cinematic?
I don't know. I don't remember what it is.
Oh. You'll see.
Oh yeah, I like this one.
I take it back. This is my favorite cinematic from Halo 1. And I gotta say,
Heard you
Marty,
say this before.
I gotta say this because it was the cinematic where I came into your office and said, "Hey, Marty, I don't know, man. I don't really know. I got this camera move. There's no dialogue. I think it's gonna look cool, but I remember being dog tired, and you said, I got it. I got it taken care
Got
of."
some music for this? That's all you need.
Yeah.
Just like the Halo announcement trailer in 1999. It's just music and action. That's all you need. No dialogue. Until you do the
Great-
comedy moment at the end.
Great looking ship and environment. So simple, but yet, I mean, that's what it was all about. Just the,
But Joe has to get the comedy in.
well, it was a Halo 1 hallmark.
Falling apart. We're not gonna make it.
Another Steve Beta animation coming here. Whoa! Whoa!
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Nice.
What
The
happened
Chief
was
of Cortana
that?
had such a good
Yes.
little witty back and forth in Halo 1.
That was good. It's a great level. I love this level.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, now, let's go and look to see.
Oh, I dot my eyes,
Banshee.
Marty.
There's
I
the
dot my
Banshee.
eyes.
See? Yeah. I just wanted everybody to know the Banshee was still
Ah.
down there burning. Here we
The
are.
return to the beginning.
Hey, Jason, how come we're reusing geometry again?
Home for a few days and look what happens. This won't take long. There. That should
Because
give us
otherwise
enough
the
time
game
to
would have been
do a live
2 levels shorter.
Ah,
3 levels.
now, I think this was Paul Russell. I don't know how the hell we figured out that countdown clock, but I remember that was a huge pain in the...
Oh yeah, somebody wrote code like
that Bernie
in a
who wrote
shader. Yeah, I think that's actually like in the pixel shader, like running that freaking clock.
for a cinematic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ah, little cutaway.
Can't imagine how exciting this is to have a record of all of our lost
He looks excited, doesn't he?
Yeah.
All of our lost time? What does that mean?
Human history is it?
Oh. Fascinating. That's a clue.
Yeah, Guilty Spark's my favorite character.
These good times. And Guilty Spark is one of those characters completely easy to write for.
think that you were distracted.
Because nobody's actually listening to him.
I am sure.
I think it's safe to say there's a lot of you and a lot of me in Little Guilty Spark.
He stopped the self-destruct.
A bookish, kind of annoying little fellow that nobody listens to.
The construct, and I will endeavor to make your death relatively painless and
At least I still have control over the comm channels.
Wait, here it comes. The grenade that's larger than the world.
As for the monitor,
So what was up with that, Jones?
he must be trying to take
Making
the
every
floor
single
off.
object
Even if
laying
I
on the
think the
ground in
countdown
Halo
started.
1.
So people could see it. It was better than
Have to
standing it up and
see it.
spinning it around.
Not much. A
Wait,
well-placed grenade
what
was
games do
enough
that?
This is great. I love it when Cortana says she doesn't know what to do.
Yes.
to- Okay, I'm coming with you.
That's so cute.
Sentinels.
Oh, poor Chief. I forget what bug this was. Whenever he got shot playing a custom animation, he went a little bit crazy. Oh, poor Chief. No, his arm's going to go all wonky. Ugh. Ship it.
I never noticed that. Hey, at least he's got the AR now coming out of the
There
cinematic.
were so many cool little screen effects that we lost in Halo 2 as well, like the ability to go in there and just sort of do the, sort of radial blurs, and I mean, that's not exactly what we call it, but just all the colors that we could wipe across the screen.
We should be able to clear it.
Now, here we go. More interactive music, guys. Watch this. Did you hear that? That little string crescendo?
Did you get Fohammer's death in here too?
I probably did. Come on, the trench run. This is one of the best endings in the history of games. I love this ending.
You're so humble.
Well, I didn't write it.
Now, if I remember, Marty,
scored it. Then I just crashed like that.
I think you might have used this piece of music
Oh, you
before,
know what?
Marty.
Move. We need to get
You know, I didn't get Fohammer's death. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
No, actually, this piece of music you're hearing right now, this is the only time it's used in the game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So there.
It must be your great reuse of themes, Marty. I was recognizing the theme of the music is what I was doing.
Use of themes, yeah, it's just lazy.
Those flood could run a little bit faster, I think.
I'll almost catch you.
Steve Abeta animation.
See, that's great.
Well, when your character has no face,
All body.
all body.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, you guys can sure talk.
Yeah, Jason, you gotta hold up your end now. Okay, it's
Someone's got to. And Lee Wilson, who's the full-time Bungie storyboard guy now, was when he was a contractor living in New York doing storyboards. He had drawn these beautiful scenes of just this flood army spilling toward High Charity, and I remember thinking, High Charity,
Pillar bottom.
Pillar of Autumn, and I remember thinking, damn, how the hell are we ever going to pull that off? But it's pretty funny. I don't know, 6 or 7 little flood guys walking across the screen.
Looks like an army shot
an
from the
army.
right angle.
There is no sound in outer space.
Wow, this game was awesome.
Shut them down. We'll need them later.
There is no sound in inner space, it's true. Ah, yes. I got a little bit too close to those particles, maybe. But that's all right.
Fancy a look?
Here we go. Private Dustin Echoes.
He's out there somewhere.
He is.
We almost, I don't even know how this happened. We didn't have any time to do this. I don't know how the ring ever even blew up.
Marcus made it blow up one night, and we all came in the next day, and
Yeah.
it had been done.
Did anyone else make it?
Here it is.
Scanning.
Marcus made a lot of stuff happen that way in Halo 1.
Yeah.
Just dust and echoes.
Dustin Echoes. We'll go back for him.
We're all that's left.
I think Dustin Echoes was the guy that opened that door in the library.
That's true.
An entire Covenant
You know,
armada
I always did
obliterated
want
in the flood.
Sergeant Johnson to like come out of some little cubby hole here.
Well, we had a bunch of legendary ending jokes where Sergeant Johnson came out like brushing his teeth, and he came out doing a bunch of funny things, which we couldn't do. Now, the funniest thing about that was, I remember when fans finally were able to go in Halo PC, I think probably, and sort of detach the camera and see what was going on and try to see what was under the Chief's helmet.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the Chief takes off his helmet. He's wearing another helmet.
Brilliant.
And I remember,
And then here we are.
Just give me some
some
black.
black.
Just
That's
give me
right,
some
Joe.
black. How, Marty? How much black? About 15 seconds.
It's not 15
20.
seconds. Come on, it's the ending of the entire game.
Or is it the beginning?
Oh, that's so.
Da, da, da.
Do we show credits now? Because that's going to be really boring. Oh my gosh.
Since we're not recording anymore, I think it's safe to say, like, this is awesome. Like, Halo 1 had a beautiful simplicity that
Yeah.
doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Like, this is inspiring to see. But it's funny. Halo 1 seemed unwieldy compared to Marathon. But like, yeah, now Halo 3 seems unwieldy compared to Halo 1. Like, everything is just like the simplest, like, brush strokes, trying to, like, a couple lines from Cortana that, I mean, the ship's being attacked, like, that's the whole message of, like, the beginning, like, coming up on Halo. But it's in the art too. It's in the environments and like the characters, just the way, like, everything pops. Like there's no, like, mess. Like, all the Jackal shields and they're really, like, crisp.
Look at the size of that credit.
Woo! Wow. You know, I think the only thing bigger than that credit is your ego.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
So Marty, seriously, come clean. How much of the music did Michael Salvatore write in Halo 1? Good stuff. I think this is the old Mullins matte painting, Chris Barrett, After Effects work. Scroll the credits.
I really hope we get more Jason in the Halo 2, but he might just curl up into a little fetal position on that one.
So Jason, as we're watching the credits, fondest memory from Halo 1?
Bernie's girlfriend almost killing me with a dart gun at 3 in the morning.
I don't remember that.
That's the first thing I thought of.
What was your least fond memory of Halo 1?
Bernie's girlfriend almost killing me with a dart gun at 3 in the morning.
Marcy, Last Crunch. Huh.
Do you
gee,
see
I
that?
wonder,
Halo 1 or Halo 2?
I just said it right there in Halo 1.
Really?
Yeah, that didn't work out too good.
Does Marcy know that you lied?
Oh, look at that. Susan Lusty, and then...
My wife was pregnant with our first
That
child.
is so cool.
I'm glad Jason talked during the break. Because that's going to be some good stuff to put over those credits. Because what we just said was stupid.
Wow, I was really, it's cool. I was really kind of floored by that. I haven't watched that in a long time.
More black.
Well, there's always got to be more black.
Gotta be more black.
Oh,
Oh.
what? Is that a star?
What is
I think it's Darth Vader.
Oh, this has never
Wait a
been
minute.
used before. What? Not over.
Ah, yes.
It's not over.